Hello and welcome to Dice and Demons. I'm Emma, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new models that has just been shown off at the Warhammer Fest. And first off is some stuff for the Cities of Sigmar, and it has horses in it, and I'm quite partial to horses, so I think it's really cool. It says here, the courageous Cities of Sigmar cavaliers charge forth to reclaim the realms. From Akshi to Gyran, the Dawnbringer Crusades are striking out. Leaving the relative safety of the Cities of Sigmar, they come to reclaim territory lost to the perfidious forces of chaos in ages past. That's cool. And then they say, what the Cities of Sigmar need are swift armored cohorts to ride in the vanguard, smiting any who oppose the will of the Heldenhammer. Luckily, they have just that. That's awesome. We'll just skip the videos. And here we have them. They are called the Free Guild Cavaliers, and it says here they lead the charge against the enemies of order, decked out in ostentatious gear befitting their many victories and riding horses clad in detailed barding. They are a further glimpse at the wider aesthetic that defines the Cities of Sigmar. These are incredibly characterful and detailed miniatures, each a glimpse into the peoples and cultures under Sigmar's banner. Okay, so that sounds cool, so let's take a look at the models. And I have to say, my first initial reaction when I saw these was just, oh wow, I really love these. As I said, I really like horses. I used to have my own horses, and I have also worked with horses, so I'm a sucker for some cool equine miniature art, so this is right up my alley. I think this is really cool. So I have a little bit of an issue with these, and maybe it's just me, and maybe it has something to do with the angle they were photographed from. As I said, I think they're cool, and my initial reaction was, this is really awesome, but why are their heads, the heads of the horses, why are they so small? They look like they have like miniature heads on a body that's relatively compact with very long legs. So there is something going on with the anatomy of the horse itself that I don't quite understand. Also, I don't understand why this horse has its tail almost straight up into the air. I mean, I know it's sort of, imagine that it's swishing its tail, but having its tail like that, that would be relatively unusual as well. And this is just me nitpicking because as I said, I know horses. I know quite a bit about horses. And this is like a fantasy game, so who cares about the size of the heads? It's just something that that matters a little bit to me still. I mean, I can readily accept like dragons and crazy stuff with horns and talons and all sorts of things all over the place. But then when they try to do like an actual living animal like a horse, and it doesn't look quite right to my eyes, it's just a little bit more difficult. And I know it's silly. It's very silly. It's just the heads are very small on all of these. The legs are very long and the heads are very small. Other than that, I do think they look cool. I also really like the fact that they have chosen to paint them in different colors. You have like a red horse and a palomino. I'm not sure I know the exact same terms for colors in English though. You have some black and some dark brown horses. And yeah, I think it's cool that you have different colors of horses. Just because, I mean, yeah, they come in all sorts of different colors. So that's nice. And it's also great that you can still paint something that is going to look like a cohesive unit, but it still makes a lot of sense if the horses are not all exactly the same color, just because they usually wouldn't be. I think they look really cool. I mean, as I said, the thing about the anatomy is just nitpicking because this is a fantasy game, so who cares? Yeah. And I like they're just completely over the top. Look at the helmet of this guy or girl. You have like a stag's head helmet complete with antlers and everything, and it's just way over the top. And they look like they are going to take hours to paint, right? If you're going to paint every single little detail, but if you do, they will look so nice on a tabletop. That's for sure. Yeah, I think they look really cool. Oh, and I like the fact that the mane of this one just sticks right out up into the air, which is also I've had a horse who had a hairdo exactly like that, which was actually a little bit difficult to maintain because it has tendency to lie flat if you don't cut it often. So I like the fact that they have taken, you can see this is a well-groomed horse, which is cool. With a very small head, but well-groomed. Yeah, they look really cool. They do. I like these a lot. I like the banner as well. I always like a big, a banner. I don't know how much of this is like sculpted and how much is painted. Oh, and I'm sorry if if this video seems like it's been chopped into a lot of tiny little bits and pieces. That's because I've got a bit of a cold, and I really do not want you to listen to me cough. So I'll have to take some breaks and then get back to it. So that's why if you think there are some weird cuts in this video. Anyway, we're talking about the banner, and as I hope some of it is sculpted on, because that just means it's an easier painting project. But I would also really love it if perhaps this part in the middle is like a decal they put on, but have left the surface flat, because that would just make it such a cool canvas for a freehand design of some sort. It looks really cool. Yeah. And then it says here, with the era of the beast bringing its own challenges, these hard-hitting horsemen are equipped with an armory of weapons to shatter the shield walls of the swamp-dwelling cruel boys or pierce the armor of the hulking chaos warriors. That's cool. The heavy armor and robust shields weather retaliation and provide ample real estate for each city's heraldry and Sigmarite iconography. Nice. And here we can see the the kind of unit they sort of replaces. So this is the old design, and yeah, a lot has happened since then. I do have to say, though, I actually quite like these older models as well. They just they have a certain kind of nostalgic charm to them somehow. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a unit of these, to be honest. I think the new ones are a lot cooler, but the old ones are just, yeah, they're quite neat as well. Compared to their predecessors from the world that was, these cavaliers are more baroque. Yeah, definitely. Resplendent with banners, crystal helmets, and unusual details such as highly decorative high-rise candles. What on earth is this? Even the most devoted of Sigmar's riders need some back support after a hard day of running down marauders. Huh. Okay, so is that the back of the saddle? We can't really... Oh, perhaps if we can tell on this guy here on the left. Is that a really high-backed saddle? I mean, I know that you have jousting saddles, you have a high back so that you don't just fall off if you are struck by a lance, but still, yeah, maybe that's so. It makes a lot of sense if you need high-backed saddles for this kind of for this kind of unit. Absolutely. Okay, so that was these guys. Let's go back and see what else they have shown off. The Leviathan, that is not right. Let's go back here and see. Okay, then we have 4 warriors of grim portent usher in Dawnbringers, the next chapter of the Age of Sigmar. Okay, so they have a whole thing about a new narrative storyline in Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and I'm not huge into the lore, so it's a crusade, and then you have 4 messengers, each from one of the Grand Alliances, sort of representing this narrative. And the first one here is, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it, Flugoth, the Miser, Harbinger of Decay. Flugoth. It's that. I mean, it sounds like phlegm or something. Then again, it's related to Nurgle, so that might just be exactly the way it's supposed to be pronounced. Who knows? I have to say, I really, really like this model. It's just, I have no reservations when it comes to this model. I think it's awesome. I think this is so cool. It's just, yeah. It's just really cool. I think the silhouette really reminds me of a ring wraith or something like from the Lord of the Rings. So perhaps some of the Middle-earth players who are a little bit disappointed yesterday with only a reveal of one model might also like this one. I think it's just really, really cool. The whole thing with the horse standing with its head down, looking way exhausted, and it's got open sores and pus, and I think it's its nose is just, it looks like it's just the skull of a horse. Oh yeah, you can see it over here, and you have got some sort of nasty goo coming out of its bony nostrils. It's just, this is really gross, and I'm all here for it. This is such a cool model. I don't think I have any complaints at all. No, I just think there's just something about the design, the silhouette, the different textures. You have the horse, you have sort of the fleshy bits, you have the texture of the cloth, the metal, the shield with the wood, you have the stone on the base. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I really, honestly, really, really like this model. I think it's very, very cool, and I think it's an awesome paint job. Absolutely. Okay, next up we have Sir Gerion Marrow Scroll Herald, and this is this is of course for Flesh Eater Courts, and I like this as well. I have to say, I mean, it's a little bit of a tough act to follow, this one, I guess, at least in my eyes. I think this is really cool, and this is cool as well, and I do like the Flesh Eater Courts. As I said in the video about the warband they showed off for Warcry yesterday. And this is very cool. It's just not as impressive to me as the other one, but I think it's really cool. Perhaps I think the paint job on this is not quite as, I mean, it's very well done, don't get me wrong, but I think it's a little bit more difficult here to tell the different parts from each other, and I don't think that necessarily does the models that many favors. I think something to make it a little bit easier to read the model might have been nice, at least to me, but that is also just a matter of taste and preference. It is very well painted, that's for sure. I couldn't paint it half as good. It's just, I would have liked something that stood out a little bit more, with more contrasting colors, but yeah, just a matter of preference. It looks cool, and I'm really happy to see the Flesh Eater Courts get more love. Then we have Fury, which is a Fire Slayer character, and this, I really want to be positive about everything that I've seen. You know, I don't want to talk negatively about someone's favorite army, but the Fire Slayers are just not interesting to me. They're just these big, naked, hairy dudes. I'm sorry. That it's probably a really nice nice sculpt and everything. And if you're a Fire Slayers player, perhaps you're really excited to see this. And I mean, I do definitely know that the Fire Slayers range is very limited, so it's probably nice to have something to add to that. Even though perhaps it would be nice to have some more battle line or some more, units instead of just a single character. But yeah, I don't know. It's probably a really cool sculpt. It's just, this is just not for me. I'm sorry. Then lastly, we have something for the Gloomspite Gitz, and this is really cool. I mean, the Gloomspite Gitz, the overall model is cool, but what really, what is really what's really perfect to me is the squigs with wings, like the bat squigs. Come on, you guys. How you can never have enough bat squigs in your life, right? I want an entire army of bat squigs now. I think these are just hilarious. They're so cool. They're so fun. They look adorable. I want some of them in as pets. I would probably not be allowed. I mean, I don't think my wife would really, honestly, approve of that. But it would be so fun. Like, a couple of tiny bat squigs zooming around the house. They would probably destroy everything. Okay, perhaps it was a bad idea, but I really like this model. It's very fun. And bat squigs, come on, they're cool. And I love seeing new models coming out for the Gloomspite Gitz. It's just such a fun range, and hilarious characters and cool paint jobs, and yeah, it's an army I really like, and I hope to see them get a lot more love and attention, moving forward, just because they can do so many weird, cool, crazy stuff with them, and it just always makes somehow weird kind of sense. It's just fun. Little green people who are, I don't know if they're high on mushrooms or whatever. They're just fun. I just really like them. Yeah. Bat squeaks, come on. It's fun. It's so much fun. And lastly here for the Harbingers, they show off the 4 boxes that you are going to have to buy if you want these characters. So one for Nurgle, Fleshy the Courts, Fireslayers, and Gloomspite Gitz. And I mean, it would have been cool if you could just go straight out and buy them individually, just these character models if you wanted them, but that is usually not the case. So it comes as no big surprise that you can't do that, but it would just have been nice. I think they look nice, these boxes. We don't know the price or anything on these, so it's a little bit hard to tell what the models are going to cost and if it's a good deal or whatnot. I think I really like the Nurgle one. It looks so cool. That I'm a little bit tempted by, and I could also be tempted by the Gloomspite Gitz one just because it has some of the... I mean, it has all of the models that I like most from the Gloomspite, like the... what are they called? Boingrot Bounders or something, and the little squigs, and you could put them all on springs or like the plastic stands I've made for my orcs that make them wobbly and everything. That would just be so much fun. Yeah. And also, of course, a Fireslayers box filled with, well, more or less just naked, hairy dwarfs. Yeah. Okay. There is one thing left to show, though, for this this reveal. And it says here, move over Gore Grunters. The Maw Grunter is a humongous hog who's here to stay. And there is a very fun video, actually. So I'm not going to show it here, just I don't want to get copyrighted or anything. But it's actually quite a fun video. So you might want to check that out as well. But here we can see the model, and it's just... it's so silly. It's just a giant pig. You know, huge, huge pig with an Ironjawz model on the top, and then they have some, I think they had like side wagons, like if you have like a motorcycle and you have a wagon on the side. This is exactly like that, except that it's nothing at all like that because this is a giant boar. It's so silly. I think this just fits right in with everything that is cool about the orcs. I don't have an orc army for Age of Sigmar, only for 40k, but this is just hilarious. And of course, this could be, I think this could be probably easily integrated into 40k if you wanted to. Perhaps you could make like the kill rig or something that has sort of a giant squig thingy pulling it. Perhaps this one could pull it. I'm not quite sure exactly how big it is compared to that one. But something like that. I mean, this could definitely be repurposed for 40k if you wanted to. It looks... I mean, I'm lost for words. This is just cool. It's fun and silly. I like it. And I'm happy to see the Ironjawz get a little bit of love. Because, I think they're they're, you know, very long time goes past when they see... no new models or updates or anything. So I'm really happy to see something like this. And also it's like a massive big monster. That's cool. How is he actually controlling it? Like, I know he's holding chains in his hand. Are they tied to the thing's ears? Is he like pulling the ears to control it? Huh. Well, I don't know how best you control a giant wild boar when riding it into battle. So that may be, you know, the proper thing to do. What do I know? I can tell you it looks cool. I really, really like it. Yeah, this is fun. Yeah. So this was the Age of Sigmar reveal. I think it was cool. I had hoped to see like sort of a big reveal, like a big range refresh, for instance, like a second wave of stuff for the Ossiarch Bone Reapers, or a whole bunch of things for Cities of Sigmar and stuff. We didn't get that, but on the other hand, we did not get like one model like the Middle Earth got yesterday. So I think this is cool. Like we have a monster, we have some characters, we have a new unit. I think it was cool, definitely. I think my favorite thing. Oh, I mean, the silliest thing is probably this big giant boar, and then the and then I mean the the bat squigs, right? I mean, I'm not sure. I think these are the most fun, and I think this is the model that has just left definitely the biggest impression on me. Absolutely, I think this is just really, really awesome. So yeah, I think that is my favorite model, though I do think that this is the most fun, and I think the big giant boar is probably the silliest thing. So yeah, question is, what do you think? What do you like? What do you think about all these stuff? Are there any models that you are particularly interested in? What about the Cavaliers for Cities of Sigmar? How do you like them? And yeah, anything, let me know. All sorts of comments and questions and stuff, just let me know. I try to get back to every single person who writes to me in the comments section. So yeah, anything, if you want to get in touch, please just let me know. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.